This is from Time.com. The Trump admin is slashing the number of refugees allowed into the U.S. and giving white South Africans priority.
Oh, no.
Apparently, the number is going to be 7,500 refugees will be allowed in 2026, a 94% decrease from 125,000 set by Joe Biden. And he's going to give priority to primarily be allocating among Afrikaners from South Africa. I say, yes, excellent. There you go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
These
there's
people
only
are.
one caveat to that. We better have a lot of babies of our own.
That's true.
Yeah,
if
that's
we
right.
don't- If we don't, boy, we're in trouble.
We're done.
Ian.
Yeah, every pension program.
This is the crazy thing is I saw one who will not be named because I don't want to give him any engagement who tweeted about this. Well, so this is just racism. I'm like, hold on. It's not racism when the majority of refugees are non-white, but then when the majority of refugees are white, now that's bad. Now that's racist. Well, then what does racism mean in that sentence?
Bad.
You tell
It means
me.
bad thing.
Yeah, it means bad thing, and anything good that is good for any white person is a bad thing.
Did you make the bad thing cartoon?
I did, yeah.
You want bad thing? You want bad thing? No, I don't. Yes, bad thing.
I guess you could say that, like when that Venezuelan gang took over the hotel or the in Colorado, that the people
Apartments.
around were actually where was it? The apartments.
apartment complexes.
They were kind of seeking refuge from the Venezuelan gang. So it's as if our own citizens are in refuge from.
Yeah.
them.
Wait, hold
true.
on.
We are the refugees.
Ian just made a great point. No, not about that. When Trende Aragua came to the United States, the first thing Trump should have done was kicked out every Venezuelan refugee because they're like, I'm afraid that the Venezuelan gangs will kill me. I got bad news for you. They're here too. So you gotta go.
Be
You're out.
safer elsewhere.
That's the play. Instead, Trump was like, we'll get rid of them for you. No. Trump, wait.
No, I love how the Democrats are like, we have to let them stay because they're fleeing from the bad people in their country. Also, we have to let in all the bad people from their country.
Is this Marge Simpson again?
No, I just lost my voice.
You keep
Homer, we have to let all the refugees in, Homer. Do you remember that episode? Homer,
that's right.
Trende Aragua took over an apartment building in Springfield.
Bart joins Trende
Homer.
Aragua.
Homer, Bart joined Trende Aragua.
Isn't Trender Walker old news now? Isn't this
Yeah.
soulless something? What are they called?
Who? I haven't heard of them yet.
The
call
Sola
it
Scriptura. It's a
Solus?
Protestant gang that goes around and takes over apartment buildings.
Sinaloa, you mean?
Praise.
The cartels?
Yeah, there's a new one. Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
Sinaloa cartel is a
Well,
big
that's
deal.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. If this is Venezuelans, something soulless.
Oh man. I don't know.
Anyway,
I just
you have
I
to
say
keep
gotta
up
go.
with these things. What?
You gotta go. Everyone's gotta go.
I think
they
they gotta go.
they deported a white guy and the left didn't care.
No, of course not. They want that. They're like, oh, good.
Yeah, that's the
They
one.
didn't, they didn't even know if he was a citizen
He was
or
a cop.
not.
He was a cop too.
Well, this
It was
is
a white cop.
that dude. They would love that. They're like a white cop. That's their least favorite kind of person. They're like, good, send him back. Get rid of him.
I guess you do. So this is a test of liberalism that I can find right now. It's getting bombarded by first the internet and all the new ideas, and now the immigration and all the new people. It's like, how does liberalism deal with the bombardment, with the penultimate? Like that we're facing. Are we going to become
Well,
communist
I-
technocracy?
They all
think-
moved to New York.
I think liberalism has been disproven at this point. So the issue with classical liberalism is that it works when you have a moral and virtuous people that are also willing to be brutal when the time comes. Within the borders of your society, you can embrace traditional or classical liberal values, but the moment you are unwilling to defend your borders and enforce your laws, liberalism fails. And that's why I say liberal is disproven. Not that it's an impossibility; it's short-lived. It can only last so long until a people become amoral and lacking virtue. And then they just say, like, this is what happens with the Christian conservatives in the United States. Let me go back and put it this way. Mary was talking about repealing the 19th yesterday because women vote poorly. And I said, how are women able to vote? And then she's like, well, the point is because men allowed them to. There was a point where men said you can't vote, and then men said, okay, you can, and now they vote, and now you're mad about it. Well, this is the same thing of Christian conservatives. How did the United States go from being a dominant Christian conservative nation to whatever the heck is going on right now? The conservatives stood back and said, you do you.
It was basically the radio.
that's right.
Once the radio appeared, liberalism started getting splattered with all these new ideas, and then TV.
Conservatives embraced classical liberalism in the sense of,
It's true.
live and let live, you do your thing.
That's exactly right. That's
Instead-
a big part of the problem. And not just classical liberalism, but a post-war DLC that got added to liberalism, which was like, actually, porn is free speech, and obscenity is free speech, which were not things classical liberals initially thought.
Let me ask you, Seamus, do you think that the conquistadors are in heaven?
Some great number of them, sure. I can't claim to know anyone's eternal destiny, but I know.
What do you mean you can't? Don't you know everything?
No, I don't know. I don't know everything.
Don't you know the eternal destiny of historical figures?
I know. I believe it or not, I don't know. But listen, I'm sure some of the conquistadors did do bad things. I'm also sure that by and large they were good men who were preventing a child sacrifice empire from slaughtering infants.
The reason I bring this up is that I mentioned this the other night. There was this, I can't remember what cartoon it was, but it was back when, I forgot how they phrased it. They said, going back to a time when men went to heaven for doing substantially worse things than anyone could do today. And it was an interesting point because it was like, you go back to the conquistadors, like Cortez and them, and they see the Aztecs, and they were like, they're sacrificing children, doing these bad things. We got to stop them. Those men all believed they were going to heaven.
Well, stopping people from sacrificing children is a good, noble thing to do.
But my point is, no one today could justify if the United States, well, I shouldn't say no one today could justify, but the people of this country would not tolerate the U.S. getting a bunch of troops and going on a crusade.
But it's
they wouldn't tolerate the U.S. going to the Sudan.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's a little bit different.
What's going on in Sudan is pretty much similar to
No, but hold on. They're
Mexico.
genociding Christians in, where is it, Nigeria?
No, I know. Listen, no, I know. And I think...
And it would be an impossibility to mount a force to go and stop that from happening in the United States.
You're probably right about that. I do think one key difference, though, is when they went over and they found the New World and they sent people over to colonize it, more or less, the initial argument was like, we're going to try to first, well, obviously Columbus was trying to find a trade route and then discovered the land, but they were sending men over. And I don't think initially the thought was like, because again, they didn't even know what they were going to find. So initially the thought wasn't, we're going to stop these bad people from doing this. They stumbled upon it and they're like, what? And when there's firsthand accounts from the men who saw this and they're like, yeah, we met these people and then they brought us through their city and we literally like thought it was painted red and then we realized it was blood.
Yeah. So, but my point is this. Our troops in the Middle East are under these constraints and international laws about when they can or cannot engage.
Okay.
That the extremists were not, they did not operate under these rules. So they'd be willing to blow up children.
Yes,
Same thing is true for Vietnam.
Same thing happened in World War II with Japanese fighters. Is they would like strap bombs to babies and stuff and hand babies to American soldiers. Take my baby, save my baby, and the baby would detonate.
My point is this: the beliefs of what was tolerable and heaven-worthy hundreds of years ago is a lot more brutal than today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The constraints today are terrible.
I'm saying this. Yeah. I'm jokingly saying that the conservative movement in the United States is the second most liberal human civilization, next only to the left.
Yes,
modern America.
I completely agree.
I'm joking though because I know Sweden.
That's a victory of the left.
But Sweden exists. That's why I'm saying I'm jokingly saying this because obviously there are other left-wing Western factions, but American conservatives are. Let me just put it this way. If the United States was magically just transposed 1,000 years ago, before, like, let's just say 1,000 years ago, America was overwritten by America today, the civilizations that existed at the time would look at us like a bunch of dainty little elves dancing through fields of flowers. They'd be like, what do you mean you don't slit the throats of anyone who looks
fatter? Much fatter, dainty elves like rolling through the fields.
To be fair, we have guns, so we don't have much to worry about from 1,000-year-old people. My point is, if you took an American today, American conservative, and put him in an arena with a random guy from Europe 1,000 years ago, the European guy would be like, how many people have you flayed in your life? And they'd be like,
well, how about the Israelis not killing all the terrorists that they locked up in prison? Every one of those guys.
They would have a medieval version of whatever podcast. What's the body count? But it's the number.
They would have been killed instantly.
If Israel, the Israel-Palestine thing was happening 1,000 years ago, the joke is that it was.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it was happening.
And what did Islam do? It conquered everything in the Middle East and North Africa and just massacred people and was genociding Christians in Spain.
It was really the caliphate. Islam, I don't like to blame Islam for it. The caliphate was like the government that twisted Islam and used it.
I respectfully disagree.
The Hadith
Muhammad was always
it's all in the Quran. What do you mean?
He's a warrior. He wasn't really a murderer. He's a warrior.
Well, hold on. I'm surprised that you say that. Where do you draw the line between a warrior and a murderer?
He was fighting for his life with his people.
But he was waging offensive wars.
No, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I like Ian's idea. Like
offensive wars.
Yeah, he was aggressive.
but
He went everywhere.
Wars of unification. He wasn't out to like massacre.
Well, I wanted
the
to
populace.
unify the property across the street with my property. I'm entitled to go kick the guy's door.
He was a conqueror like Genghis Khan.
From the driveway to the tree.
I mean, the world's filled with countries that were once other things that are now Islamic. How did that happen?
They stole it, bro.
Probably the caliphate was the biggest. The
Not
caliphate,
just the caliphate, the actual religion.
I think we don't steal land
It's
enough.
in the religion. It's in the
why-
Quran.
And this is what I always say about the matter. When Christians don't act like Jesus, we're disappointed, and when Muslims don't act like Muhammad, we're relieved.
Exactly.
The way that religion started was just him and his barbarians going out and murdering people and forcing them to convert.
Not quite. It was a bunch of disparate
Well, true. There was also a
tribes
lot
that
of
were-
like
and there was
pedophilia,
a lot of
and
chaos
rape.
and murder and just general persecution. And he fought to unify those people so that would slow down because he wanted.
Oh, he didn't
order.
want
Guys,
to slow
listen.
down.
Did
you read that? Al
The
Jazeera?
world.
Ian is just pointing out that life under Sharia today is better than in liberal
Well,
democracy.
I think just like the Romans came along and abused Christianity for their purposes, that the caliphate came along and abused Islam for their purposes. It was supposed to empower women in the
And who
beginning.
started the caliphate?
Islam was supposed to empower women in the beginning.
yeah,
Muhammad
Muhammad
had a
gave them-
9-year-old bride.
But he gave women-
He was
Yes,
literally
hold
a
on.
child
That's
rapist.
not fair. He didn't have relations till she was 12.
No, I think she was actually a 6-year-old bride, and he didn't have relations
Until she was 9. Yeah,
She was literally a 9-year-old.
No, you're right.
Yeah, he's a
absolutely
child
right.
rapist.
Yeah.
They wanted to give women.
I don't know where you get this dreamy knowledge of
Ian wants to live
Have
under
you spent
Islamic
much
law.
time over there?
Ian is
I've
like
spent a lot.
Caliphates.
Listen. I get it.
I've been in the Sudan.
Ian
Oh,
understands.
it's crazy.
I don't deny it, but I think the caliphate really fucked that
It's
religion.
not the
Ian wants-
caliphate. It's the religion itself. It's all in the Quran and the Hadith.
Ian
Oh,
wants
just go read it.
Islamic law so that he can get a bride.
No, man. Hey, I'm not a fan of government religion, and I think the caliphate is. I don't know enough to start blaming it for things.
What do you
I don't
think
wanna
about the Hadith,
ad hominem
Ian?
thing. I have never read the Hadith, but the caliphate came
But
after.
do you agree with the with like the tenet of these?
Most religions I find are extreme. I just think why adhere? Why not live more fluidly with
religion?
reality? Yeah.
Then why are you defending a religion that literally wants to kill?
Because I don't want to slander Islam because of what the caliphate did to it.
No, I'll slander them for wanting to kill the Jews.
Not just the Jews.
Yeah.
You want to kill Christians.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, but could you slander the
It's
Christians
all-
for wanting to kill the Muslims? I don't know.
See,
some did, yes.
Seamus, how many
Some
crusades
did,
were there?
But it wasn't legislated
It was 9,
in
but
the
I don't-
religious doctrine.
I think there was 9.
big
Let me double
difference.
check.
It would be like commanded by the Pope.
It's funny how like America under Christianity is fallen to communists, and Islam under all of their theocratic states has expanded and gained more control. And
Well, because here's the sad thing. America isn't under Christianity. There's many Christians here, but really America's under liberalism. And that's
Yes,
why it's fallen, 'cause
exactly.
Christians haven't asserted their will. They haven't asserted their values.
Why is that? You think it's because entertainment is more powerful
Yes.
than religion?
No, so the way people get their values is through story. It's through entertainment. And as I mentioned, for literal decades, all of the entertainment media in this country has been dominated by people who hate Christianity. Frankly, most of them historically were either communists or communist sympathizers. But ultimately, they're people who hate Christianity.
And
They hate
that,
our way of
way
life.
back in early Hollywood, not true. Those guys who came here from Eastern Europe, the Warners and all those people, were very pro-American and were not liberals.
And then
It started to creep
That's
in,
why
though.
it started to get worse. But the original group were the opposite.
And then the McCarthy era, they were talking. I was just reading about this last night. There was communist infusion into the entertainment industry.
Absolutely.
Communist
Yes.
Islam?
Communism.
Communism.
And McCarthy went in and was like blacklisting actors and writers and people in the industry because they were affiliated with communism or suspected of being affiliated with communism. And this is a
that's an
huge
idea, Seamus.
He was
Islam?
largely
For a
right.
bit.
Listen, I know those people. I
like
knew
the
them.
left is embracing it.
Personally.
This is a huge. I mean, the way that communism got into our entertainment industry was like in the figures.
There's a great book about it called Red Star over Hollywood. And what was really interesting, the playwright John Howard Lawson, who was a big party member, would read the screenplays before they were delivered to the studio by the writer to make sure they were okay with the party. It's a fantastic
With the
thing
communists?
that happened.
Sorry, go ahead.
This happened. And then what was interesting about it, though, was that Lawson was smart enough not to not let them be too propagandistic.
Well, and this is
so you could hide what was going on.
this is part of what we're trying to do with Twisted Plots. Our second episode is, I don't want to spoil it too much, but without saying the word communism or without talking about like economics, it through the story refutes like a lot of the core values of communism. TwistedPlots.com, support the show, help us get this.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.